My, he looks heavy.
月が闇を照らす時伝説が空を舞う禁断のデュエルの時タナトスが呼んでる
Hey! What's up there, YouTubers? Black Zanny here, and welcome back to another Random Builds Reviews. For this is going to be the last video for the Moderoid Gravion set, as you can see here. So we've got our G Attacker and G Striker, the two twin jets that make up the legs or feet. The G Driller for our arms. The G Shadow for most of the body. And of course the core, the Gran Kaiser. We also have the extra parts that make up the weapons, such as the Graviton Sword, two Graviton Buster Rifles. We got one here, got one here. And of course, a non-transforming torso for the upper section. And of course, this is optional, however you want to build it up. And that being said, we also have a little jar here, keeping all the extra hands and whatnots of Gravion and the Gran Kaiser, as well as the little crest, as you can see right there for the forehead. Just that yellow tidbit there. Speaking of which, I'm going to open this up so we can get to some of the optional parts in this. Out like so. And that's a part I don't need. Get back in there. You're for the ultimate version. And I've got a hand jumping away from me, so. Alright. Now that we got everything we need to create Gravion himself, I'm going to go ahead and combine by starting to move some of these parts aside. Actually, I want you over there, off camera. Get the two rifles. Get the non-transforming torso. And I think I'll take G Shadow off this stand here. Okay. Being as the craft as he is. Alright. So to combine all these into Gravion, we're going to start with the individual components. Starting with Gran Kaiser, I believe. Since his shape has a transforming torso here. Starting off, you want to move his feet back a little. Something on a double hinge. And then fold the toes into the leg itself. Same with the other side. And I'm not sure how lined up that is. It does take a bit of doing. Okay, next up, go to his hands. Open the panel up. Twist the hand. Fold it inside. And close that right up. Twist the arm. Raise and fold that right in. Of course, you also want to extend the body like so, so that everything goes in. You can also extend the shoulder pads as an option, but in this case it's required for the Gravion mode. I can't get my fingernails in there. Okay, I was not expecting that. Whoops. I know I can fix this. Just take some doing. Same thing for the other side, only I'll do it in reverse. Do the shoulder pads first. Okay, I'll go for the hand, twist, fold, close that up, and in that goes with a bit of a slide. Of course, at this point you also want to remove the head. But don't worry, this is not permanent. So, put the body down, remove the primary headpiece for Gran Kaiser. And of course, that popped right off. Flying about, we don't want that. You also want to remove the back portion of the helmet. So, and now you've got Gran Kaiser's head ready for his Gravion combination. But speaking of which, let's go ahead and give him his ELGO form headpiece, which is required here. Okay. Put that down. Take G Striker and G Attacker, and I think I've got Striker here. Open up this panel here. There are going to be a couple of grooves as well as pegs that are going onto either of his legs. And I think I've got G Striker, which is the left leg here. Okay. Move down the canopy section of the Jetcraft and push that right in. And of course, this is not permanent for this position. You'll see why once it gets combined. Second verse, same as the first, and this time it's a GH Attacker. I can tell by the hole here. Push that in. Down that goes. Okay. For G Driller, I'm going to split them up. Open the treads. And flip the drill around, so we have a fist. Close that right back up. I also want to strain out this bit here and remove the cap. That'll give us the combination peg. See it right there. Second verse, same as the first. with an extra step. Remove the cap. Fold this up. Open the treads. Flip out the fist. Yeah, and I kind of wish there was a hinge or swivel mechanism here whenever you try to bring out this drill and fold it in. But instead, you have to flip it by taking it apart. And I don't know why Good Smile did that. But it is what it is. I'm sure they have their reasons, so I'm not going to complain or argue about it. And I've got a part here that's coming undone. How that happened, shame on me. Okay. Alright, there's the other arm. Lastly is G-Shadow. Remove the back piece first. It becomes Gravion's helmet. Next, unfold the vehicle itself. You want to remove this part that keeps it all together. Come on. Okay, I need some tweezers. I'm going to use the back part here. And I don't want to go breaking this. Oh, wait a minute. I will say it's a little tight. Oops. And, of course, it slipped out of my hands. How dare I? Come on. Ah, there we go. There's a little part that keeps it together. I don't need that anymore. Alright. And now you've got everything ready to combine into Gravion. But before we get into that, you do have a certain option. Since there is a non-transforming torso, there are some combination possibilities as well as movements, but we'll get that into a bit later. So as I said before, there are kind of some holes here that the G-Striker and G-Attacker peg onto. Also, as well as in the back heels, where those panels fold into. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with G-Striker. Just try to get the parts lined up, starting in the upper leg, as well as in the bottom foot. This can be tricky sometimes. And again, it does take some doing. Once you have them all lined up, go ahead and close the panel. But you're not going in, are you? Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Let's try this again. Okay, leg, foot, going in. Oh dear. Well, this is a complex. A complexity, that is. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we've got G-Striker attached. Okay, it should be noted you also want to widen the legs just a bit. Okay. Bring the canopy up so we have something of a knee guard, and a very pointy one at that. Attach G attacker as well. Okay, there we go. All right, and close that up. My apologies, folks, but sometimes there's a point where I need to see what I'm doing, and I did not mean to get this up in the lens. Okay. All right. Now that we got the jets on, in fact, I want the G drillers next. Become the arms, and these are going to peg into the connection holes right here. Does take a bit of a twist. Whoop. There we go. Now for the other. Come on. And I have to say, I love how this model set is turning out. Okay. Okay, so now there's two hands, or arms I should say. Lastly is the G-Shadow. Considering it's already unfolded, there are two pegs where my finger is, so there's two over here. The first two are going to peg into the back, because it obviously forms a sort of a jet backpack. I'm getting tongue-tied again. What's wrong with me? As well as the other two are going to peg into the front. There's one. Weren't supposed to fold down yet. Okay, I'm doing this a bit off camera, so I'm going to raise it up just a bit. Ah! Jeez. Of course it unpegged. Gah. Ridiculous. Okay, I do not know why it's not cooperating, so I'm just gonna remove the dang torso. I know these were recently built. They haven't been played with yet. This is taking a bit of doing. There we go. Okay, now there goes the backside. Alright, put this straight back on. Alright. Now fold the G shadow just over the top. Let's get everything straightened up here. Now for the head, just attach the back of the G shadow to create Gravion's helmet. Right. Reattach to the body. And you basically got Gravion himself. And I've got to say, this particular model looks splendid. And I'm going to take a few things here just to get out of my way. Now, despite being at 5 vehicles and requires 6 pilots just to control this big behemoth, I would have to say he's I'm not sure how I want to put it, but I'm sure he looks kind of nice, cool, even fantastic for a model kit. As much as I've seen this guy back when I was in high school for the Gravion anime, and this was like the first time I seen the season 1 on DVD, and season 2 didn't come out for who knows quite a while. But I do have to say he's an impressive mech. Despite of how many parts this thing went into. Oop, I think I just dropped a hand. Yep. Now, as far as this guy goes, I will have to say I do like the color scheme. You've got lots of nice blue, some black and red, as well as the white and yellow where it should be. Let's see. What else do I want to say about this? I can see that my review skills are kind of diminishing, sadly. I know I shouldn't be saying that in videos like this, but what can you do? So, let's get into articulation. Arms can go about in and out, which is limited due to the transforming torso of the Gran Kaiser. You can move them front and back, despite there's being an inner and outer hinge from the way he's built. So nothing more you can do that. There is some elbow articulation as well by the transformation hinge of the G driller, and each one has that. Oh, and I seem to have a loose part somewhere. I don't like loose parts. Headwise, since it's on a ball joint, you can make it left or right. It's about the same as the Gran Kaiser. Make it look down. I'm not sure if you can make it look up. I think that's limited. You can get some ab crunch in a way. There's a swivel, as you can see, for the hip or waistline. Well, of course you can see that. I mean, I took it off just to get this G shadow on. Let's see. Since both the G Attacker and G Striker cover the Gran Kaiser's legs, the articulation is basically same as the core. However, because of the thrusters that form the feet, you can make it go forward or back, as well as give it a pivot due to the ball joint. If you need clearance, then make sure you move the fin. Do something about that. But yeah, I think that's it for articulation. In and out. You could try to twist the leg, but it's a bit of a stiff joint on mine, and I really don't want to break the thighs. Or any part of the legs, for that matter. I may have to get some oil or water or something. If you guys want to suggest how I should fix that and make it unstiff, leave a comment down below as a suggestion. Yeah, I should really do something about that. But still, not too bad. Now, again, with the hands, he does come with an assorted such. Let's see. He's got a couple here. They sort of like have a itchy trigger finger. These are mostly used for the Graviton busters. Each slide has sort of a slot in the red part. And the hands have got a peg, so just put the finger in the trigger and slide it on like so. This way, the hands are holding the gun itself. In the Season 1 series, they're normally stored in either G Striker or G Attacker, since that's where they'd be holstered. They're only shown at about, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, or 4 episodes. It's kind of hard to tell. And seeing as they have got a ball joint, you can, let's see, try to remove the said ball joints. I'm going to have to take this off here because my hands are not doing so great. There we go. And careful, careful. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Close that back up and switch it out with the one with the gun. And remember, toy guns are fine, but real ones are dangerous. Okay. Bring his head up. And trying doing it this way makes it look like he's shooting long distance at something. Maybe at a mountain or one of the Zerovires, for that matter. I cracked myself up. Oh. But yeah. You also got a set of open hands that are like open fingers. As well as another pair of closed fists. But these ones are mostly meant for the swords. So, speaking of which, got the Graviton sword right here. And I think I'll switch out the hand again. Okay. And to get the hand on, I need to remove the pommel. Take the hand here, slide it right on. Put the pommel back on, and you've got Gravion holding his sword. Now, normally, when the Graviton sword is in his hand, the crest part on G-Shadow would be taken off. Unfortunately, because of my hands, or at least the tools, I can't seem to get that darn thing off for the sake of it. I know it says so in the instructions, but it is really, really hard. So no matter what I try to do, I mean, I've already tried a few times. And of course, it's on there really good. So much for that. In any case, I'll get the other fist going. Okay, I heard it crack somewhere. At least I thought I heard a crack. Please don't be broken. Please don't be broken. Okay, no cracks or bruises. Good, good, good. I really wouldn't have to buy another set. Come on. Get off. There. And give him the left hand that's opened. Alright. Reattach the arm. Now let's give him some sort of a dynamic pose to deal. Let's see. Let's bring this up. Like he was raising it up high. Hand out, and I may want to turn this just a bit. Now, I'm not really sure how well this is doing because of the black television screen behind the figure, but sometimes it is what it is, and I really have to say I do like how this is turning out. At least from my point of view. I'm not sure how well this is doing for you guys, but again, I love how this Gravion turned out. Now, if you wanted the option for the upper torso, you can use the non-transforming one since it has a lot more of a variety in articulation. The transforming one, not so much. However, since the transforming one has the Gran Kaiser's arms and the non-transforming one doesn't, it does have a few additional peg holes for the arms for you to choose from. Such as, you've got one spot, inner-wise, for the G-drillers, his arms, or the outer hole, which is mostly used for the ultimate combination, I think. But at this point, since it's the only set I've got right now, that is yet to be determined. I still have to get my hands on Soul Gravion, as well as God Sigma Gravion. So, I've seen reviews for them, and they've made a good impressions. Alright, so why don't I just use the non-transforming one for an example. Take an arm of the G-driller, and grab the wrong one, but who cares? Just show you what I mean. Shoulder pads up, same with the arm. That gives a nice wide variety on the ball joint. And a lot more wider than the transformation torso. And in my case, does a real nice job for it. In retrospect, I really think that this Moderoid Gravion set is a truly wonderful set to add to your model collection. That is, if you can find some. I managed to pre-order this in advance and had to wait an entire year. I mean, come on. But evidently, I am glad that I have this in my collection. So, now, as much as I want to point out a few flaws, such as the hand swapping and all the parts forming just to transform him back again into his individual components and such, I'm probably just gonna let that fly for right now. And of course, trying to keep all the parts together. And I'm gonna have to go after Soul Gravion next. And hopefully, when I get over to the God Sigma Gravion, I can use these two parts for the Ultimate Gravion, because these are kind of extras right now that can't be used. So, and as always, make sure you keep your spare little parts together so you don't lose them. Otherwise, you'll be making a mess of things. And by the way, I kind of had this little jar from a beef bouillon cube stock. I had to wash it out when it was empty. And of course, always give it a repurpose. Okay, so this is it for the Moderoid Gravion set. And I love how it turned out. Sadly, I must now go into storage and try to find more model kits that are backed up in my backlogs. Doesn't matter if they're unbuilt or not. But in any case, I'm going to end here for right now. And this is a Black Xana saying, tower deactivated. I'll be back with many more good videos. Please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications if you haven't. As well as to my vlogging gaming channel. Links down in the description below. And I will see you all until next time. Bye!
Alright. We've got a couple of jets, a pair of drills, and one stealth fly I've had to rebuild from Grimlock eating it. The first time, I might add.
Me, Grimlock, not apologizing for it, and we'll eat it again without regret. That's alright, Jazz. Just as long as these Gran Divas are completed for Gran Kaiser here.
Yeah, sure. So, tell me, Astro, what exactly is he gonna do with these?
Oh, he's gonna combine with them.
Combine with him? Into what?
You'll see. Show him, Kaiser.
Okay. And what do you call this form?
According to what we just witnessed, Gravion.
Gravion, huh? I'm not even gonna ask.